there are a lot of situations that you face. So how do you deal with those difficult situations? Let's take this example that, suppose you're driving on the road, okay, and when you're driving you realize that you somehow tend to come behind, or you're driving behind a vehicle which is emitting a lot of smoke. Okay, now when this vehicle is emitting a lot of smoke, you actually have three options, right? Number one option is that you continue to go behind that vehicle which is emitting smoke, and you continue to crib, you continue to honk, you get irritable, you get so irritated that you know you lose your cool, and anybody who's sitting with you in your car also gets that brunt of the way you're shouting, howling, getting irritated, wild. And that's one way to deal with that. And there will come a point in time when ultimately either your direction will be different or that vehicle's direction will be different, but until then you are sticking to that. Second way to deal with this situation is that you slow down a bit. And when you slow down a bit, the vehicle in front of you will, go, and in a way that it will create a gap because you have slowed down. And suppose there was this truck in front of you, that truck's speed remains the same, the gap gets created. And when the gap gets created, you realize that the smoke that the truck is emitting, it's not, you're not getting as much impacted as you were when you were immediately just behind the truck. Okay, so you create that gap, and then you maintain that gap so that you can, drive sanely. Third way to deal with that situation where the truck is emitting all that smoke is you will slow down just for a moment, wherein enough gap gets created where you can overtake. So what you do is, in the third situation, you overtake the vehicle, right? And then once you have overtaken the vehicle, you've forgotten about that vehicle which was emitting smoke, because now it's not disturbing you anymore, and you've gone ahead. Now in life, this is how all of us deal with situations. One of the three options we take, okay? When you take the first option, which is about constantly remaining behind that truck and cribbing, crying, getting angry, howling, shouting, when there is a situation in your life, most of the people attach themselves to the situation to such an extent that they know that that situation is harming them or creating a lot of trouble inside them, but they are still sticking to it. And that is how many people do. They just confine themselves to that, and every day then goes in cribbing, every day goes in anger, every day goes in resentment. But what they are not able to see is the other two options. So this is what happens when we are just sticking to the situations. Our emotions are the same. The smoke from the truck is there, and we continue to replay those emotions again and again because we know that the smoke is coming, and that is how we live our life, continuously under those emotions, day in, day out. Therefore, life seems to be the same on everyday basis. Now, there are some people who will create that gap so that the truck in front of them, goes a little ahead of them. When they create that gap between their vehicle and the truck in front of them, there is a possibility that the other vehicle can come in between, and the other vehicle that comes in between can also be emitting smoke, right? So when in real life you try to avoid a situation, when you try to escape a situation, remember that if you have tried escaping, you will definitely get something or the other which will be, creating the same scenario and the same kind of emotions. Which means running away from situation is not the solution. Running away from problems is not the solution. Okay? I had mentioned earlier also in one of my earlier videos that in one of my posts I had written that if you try to avoid certain people in your life. Maybe you can avoid them at that point in time. But later on, those people will come to you in some other form, either in the form of your neighbor or mate or somebody who will give you exactly the same experience that you wanted to avoid earlier. So better is to accept, right? Learn your lessons and then move on. Third strategy, wherein you have uh, taken that smoke for some time, you realize that this is not where you would want to follow this. So in that case, you've understood the situation. You have analyzed that, okay, this is not worth, following this truck that is emitting so much of smoke. So you've been patient. You've observed it very objectively without getting carried away by how that smoke is impacting you. You've given time to it where, the truck did not, speed up, and now you've taken the third step. What you have done is you've just created just a little distance, right? And you've overtaken that, and then you've forgotten about it. Now that's the way ideally you should be dealing with the situations, wherein once you have seen, you've experienced, you have assessed from the third person's perspective, understood, create that little distance, and move ahead, which means that do not attach yourself to the situations, because when you do not attach themselves to the situations and you look at the situations very objectively without getting your mind into it, when you look at it very objectively, you will be able to see, say for instance, how much of smoke is coming, how much of dense smoke is coming, which direction is it going, is it really that bad. Then accordingly it helps you to take the decision of what to do. And then when you change your path, then when you overtake, you have actually left the problem. And when you have left the problem, it's not to say you've left it unsolved, but you have left it in a way which is, wherein you have given a lot of thought to it, you've experienced it, you've objectively analyzed it, and then you let go. Okay, so that you can take the road and then move accordingly. Now that's the way you will do it, but the only catch in the third situation is that you should have confidence in your vehicle. Okay, so vehicle should be in a very good condition. And second is that when you're overtaking, you need to have the skills to overtake. You remember when you were learning to drive, and you had to overtake some vehicles, especially big vehicles like buses, cars. There is that feeling is very scary. Some people, having learned driving, also are scared to overtake. So you need to have those skills to overtake. Now, what is this vehicle and what are these skills in your real life? These vehicles are basically the experts, the professionals, the coaches who can help you to, change your direction. And what are those skills? These coaches, when they handhold you, they teach you those skills. They teach you that art on how to, deal with the situation and how to then change your direction in ways that that situation is taken care of, and you are now on the new right path which you always wanted to be in. Okay, so if that is the case, then you are stuck, you are not able to create the gap, and in any case creating the gap is not going to help you, because something or the other, some situation, some person will come exactly like that, which is going to evoke the same feeling, same experience, and then same emotions. Therefore the answer is, hire a coach and let your coach help you, handhold you to get you to the direction that you want. Okay, and while there are a lot of coaches, you can search and take a decision of yours. But then in case you think you want a coach where people like me who have been doing this work for many years now, handholding women and helping them to create peace and harmony in their married life, helping couples to be working together and create peace and harmony if their marriage has been struggling. Then I am leaving the link to my appointment calendar here. Please book your free session, first free session, and we will see where you're stuck, what are the roadblocks which have stopped you from getting out of that stuck situation, and then we will see what is the way forward for you so that you can get to the direction, get to the life that you are looking for, right? So if you wish to book that call, link is there, go ahead, click it, and I am going to be seeing you through the call. Thank you so much for watching, and those who are watching live, very, very grateful to you. And whatever topics you might have in your mind that you think need to be taken up without taking your name, and that's perfectly okay. I am going to be taking those topics without taking your name, keeping the confidentiality, so that not only you get your answer, but others who have similar kind of issues will also be getting their answers. And remember to keep practicing, keep practicing, keep practicing, because keeping going is the name of the game. Stopping, getting disheartened, it's all normal. It happens on everyday basis. You sometimes you feel you've gone into the gutter, nothing is working. All those feelings are normal. What matters is how interested, how inspired, how keen are you to just get up and walk again? Now, getting up and walking again is, I know, very, very tough thing to do. In case you are not able to get up, once again, I'm saying, book that call, make the best of your life, because you really deserve to live well, right? So take care, and I will see you tomorrow. No questions coming here until now. So if you have any questions, write them in the comment box, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Take care. Bye.